Hello, my fellow Lana fans. We are here for a recap of the tier list that I tried to do on my live stream for Honeymoon. I don't know what happened. We had technical difficulties, and even when it uploaded onto YouTube after the live stream, it cut off about 45 minutes of the actual tier ranking. So I just want to do it really quick. We'll go through it. Hopefully this video is only like 10-15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes max, so that we can just recap, do it quickly so you guys know where my head's at going into Lust for Life. So here it is. By the way, welcome to Passion Dump of an Autist. My name is Val. Thank you so much for coming back, and welcome on in if you're new. If you like Lana content, if you like my content, music, commentaries, things like that, make sure to like and subscribe, and also let me know your tier ranking in the comments. That would be great. Another really great way to support the channel is to head on to my Patreon. The link is in the description. I always put my completely uncut reactions. The last one I just did, Lust for Life actually, and the video ended up being 3 hours and 40 minutes, many side quests, just really fleshing out as much as you possibly can in a first time listen. It was a great time. So if you're into that kind of thing, then definitely check out my Patreon. It helps a lot. All right, let's go. So I wrote notes on my final listen to Honeymoon before I did this tier ranking. And so we're just gonna go through some of those notes. They're basically my final thoughts before heading into Lust for Life. Okay, so to start with Honeymoon, as usual, her first track is usually, so far, it's been perfection. So Honeymoon goes into masterpiece just right off at the start. I said it's so cinematic in the beginning, especially. The strings are haunting, and there's so much anxiety just enmeshed within the feeling of hope. So I love that idea. There definitely is this hope, this cinematic feeling, but as I said, there's also this like foreshadowing of, ooh, maybe not everything is perfect here. There's that anxiety of being at the beginning stages of a relationship. I love the lyric, because truly there's nobody for you but me. So again, that theme of kind of being destined or being fated or connected, the Bonnie and Clyde kind of thing that she plays with a lot. I love that. The pre-chorus, absolutely angelic. Hello, obviously. And then there's such a beautiful swell in the actual chorus. It just pays off so much to the listener. It's gorgeous. The dark blue lyric I absolutely loved. I loved it before, but then I loved it even more when we went through the interviews and she talked about dark blue and about how that's just a feeling, and she was okay with just putting that in as a lyric. Didn't really mean anything when it came to, as a lyric, but it was more just her expressing her feeling in a color, which I think was absolutely beautiful. Love that. And then we have our first Born to little saga. So in this song we have Mr. Born to Lose, and that definitely brings me back to Born to Die and makes me think of Born to Die, and I love that about that lyric. And I do think that hints at us kind of looking back at that album and kind of how different she is from that album to this one. I do think sometimes she does bring us back to other albums, and I think it's totally intentional. So I definitely pay attention when I see those things. I said the bridge is perfect. And it is. If you watch my reaction, it is on this channel in the Lana Del Rey playlist. It's worth it just to watch it for this song in particular. I lose my absolute shit when I first hear the bridge. It's amazing. Particularly, I love the line, "There are roses in between my thighs and fire that surrounds you." I don't know, it just kind of feels like, just come and escape with me. Like all the crap that's all around you, you can just come. Just come in bed with me and escape with me. And we also know that she talks a lot about escape, so I absolutely love that. And then of course, ending with dreaming away your life. I think what I love about this is that I still am not entirely sure if it's a positive or a negative thing, the dreaming away your life. And I think it's probably both, because I think dreaming away your life can be seen as a good thing, especially if you need that escape in the moment, but it can also be a kind of negative thing because you're not really being in the present moment and you are kind of just dreaming away your life, right? And I love that, and I think it's intentional that she does that, so love it. On to music to watch boys to. So this one, when I did it in my live, I originally put it as amazing, and then as I went through, I realized I did like certain songs better than music to watch boys to, so I actually put it in great by the end. So we will put it in great. We didn't go through the tier ranking, sorry. So Masterpiece is, I think it's one of the best songs on the record. Usually I force myself to stay within 5 songs in Masterpiece, but for this one specifically, I opened it up because I knew that there were multiple songs that I needed to put in Masterpiece. So I make the rules, so I changed the rules specifically for Honeymoon because it would have been impossible for me to put only 5 songs in there. Amazing is basically, I don't necessarily, it's not in my top as a masterpiece, but I still recognize that it's a top tier song. It's amazing, as most songs of Lana are. Great. Honestly, most of her songs, even if I don't like them, they're usually in the great category. Spoiler alert. And by the way, I do love Music to Watch Boys to. I think it's a great song. It's just when I have to compare it to other songs in the album, it is one of my least favorites, but I still love it, if that makes sense. This might be my favorite album. That's what it comes down to, because I just, from beginning to end, I think this album is near perfect. I absolutely love it. So yes, Music to Watch Boys to, unfortunately, is in the great tier. And I do think it's great. I love so much about the song. So I said, I love the beginning, the acapella with the echoes, so satisfying to my ear. I love when the flute comes in. I just wrote a big heart by the flute in my notes. And I love the sentiment of her taking back control by reminding us that she's an observer herself. So I do believe she's quite an observant person. So even though oftentimes she's the person in the fishbowl because she's the famous person, the artist that's putting herself out there, I do think that she also likes to sit back and observe what's going on around her in her life, whether they're personally, people around her in her life, relationships that are happening to her. But I think she also likes to remind her fans that she's also watching us in a way. She is an observer as well. I love the idea of her surrendering to the universe and just sitting back and watching people come in and out of her life. Absolutely love that. The line, I live to love you and I love to love you. I said, there's our romantic Lana again. I just love that idea. She just loves love. She's certainly grown from her first album to this one when it comes to that devotion to love, but it's still there. She still has this romantic idea about love, and I love it. And of course, the line, nothing gold can stay. Just that idea of having seasons in life where you can actually only really appreciate things when you have the experience of losing them. Sometimes you might not even realize how precious things are sometimes until you experience the loss. Just appreciating that aspect of life. I love that about the song. I said, just allowing life to happen without control. And I really feel like she's starting to really feel that idea and really showing that both in this song and in the music video. So yes, a great song, Music to Watch Boys to. Next one is Terrance Loves You. And that one I put in amazing because I do. I think it's an amazing song. Sonically, there's such a payoff. Anyways, let me let me read what I actually wrote instead of riffing off of this one. So I said, the intro is so interesting and intriguing. There's a layering that comes in with 2 separate lines that make me think of the way this song is most likely intertwined between the Terrance and David Bowie story and with her own. Yeah, so if you listen to the very, very beginning intro, there's two lines that come in, two melody lines that come in, and that's kind of what it made me feel. Like I said, they kind of go together, but they're also different. So it made me feel like two lifetimes, two stories that are different, but kind of on the same level. And I do think she does that sometimes in her songs. She's like relating to, she's telling us somebody else's story, but also relating to it. And I really feel like this song is one of those. I love her use of her higher voice in the chorus. She's got such a smoky, beautiful low register as well that she obviously uses in the verses, but that when she gets a little bit higher and uses more of like a mix tone of her voice, it's beautiful, stunning. I said I love the production. It has this jazzy blue elements mixed with still such a cinematic aspect. It's just so gorgeous. So gorgeous. And I said the bridge is so good. It's just so satisfying, which is so true. And like I said, there's a payoff because it's so slow in the beginning, which is great. It's beautiful. But then you really get paid off when all the music or the instruments swell in, and it just gets so stunningly beautiful by the end there. And I also love the idea of like reaching out to someone spiritually. I just love that whole concept. It's so interesting. All right, next one. God Knows I Tried. This might be an unpopular opinion. I'm not sure because I don't know if I've heard anybody say this is their favorite song, but it is up in Masterpiece for me. Like it might even be my favorite song. I don't know. Honeymoon is right up there for sure, but God Knows I Tried. There's something about it. It's just absolutely beautiful. It's simple. The lyrics and the melody, everything is quite simple, but it's so effective. It's so beautiful, and I love the concept, and it's devastating. So just to quickly go, I said the beginning sounds like a Western. I love that. I kind of see that hot summer morning. She's dreaming of that freedom again, which is so important to her. We know that. We know that. And I said, I love the inner struggle of trying to find herself again after receiving the thing that she asked for. So the music and the success. But now she's like, oh God, what have I done? You know? I love the lyric, wear my blinders in the rain. I feel like she's just trying to find ways to feel normal again. And I love that concept and to kind of hold on to that freedom. And of course, the lyric, so let there be light, just so devastating. But also, I love that she's holding on to that little bit of hope that there maybe is a light at the end of the tunnel. Awesome. Okay, so let's go to the next one, which is High by the Beach, which I instantly put into Masterpiece. High by the Beach is a masterpiece for me. It is, again, one of my absolute favorite songs. I would never think to skip it. I said, I love the helicopters in the beginning, just wanting to escape a dark reality. So the lines like, you take the wheel, if I can't survive, if this is all that's real. Love it. Devastating. And I do think she does this a lot where she uses kind of a romantic relationship framing in the song to maybe describe a different type of relationship. In this one specifically, I think we are talking about her relationship with fame a lot, even though it is framed in that context of a romantic relationship often. I do think she's talking about fame a lot. I love the line, the truth is I never bought into your bullshit when you would pay tribute to me. Again, you can totally take that with both. You can take that with a romantic relationship, and you can also take that talking to the industry or her fans even. I said, it's just so trippy and I love it. So satisfying production. I also love the line, through the fire, we're born again. So we've got like a baptism by fire, another kind of spiritual, religious kind of reference. That idea that you're coming out of a difficult situation stronger or better because of it, I love that. Obviously, she's talking about revenge and things like that as well, but love it. Now, next one is Freak. Freak, I also put in Masterpiece. I had such a hard time. Like, I could probably put every single song in Masterpiece. So, to be honest, because I think they're all great. Spoiler alert, I think they're all great. I love the line, flames so hot that they turn blue. We also have the line, your halo's full of fire. I just wrote down, there's so much fire. And I love the idea of fire because fire, like water, that she also uses as symbolism a lot, fire can be seen as a good thing or a bad thing, or somewhere in between. And I love that. I love that she plays with that idea. I said that drop into the chorus is epic. It is. I said it's so dark and sexy at the same time. It almost feels like we're intruding on this very sexy moment that she's having. It almost feels strange to witness it in the song. It gives you, it's so intimate. It feels very intimate. And that kind of makes you a bit uncomfortable, but I love it. I said another slow motion dance scene. Yes. I love the line, oh, you're cold as ice, baby, but when you're nice, baby, you're so amazing in every way. So good. I love that sonically it changes completely in that line. It almost feels like she's coming out of that dark, sexy vibe that I just talked about. And it's like, it's almost like she's being self-reflective. She's taken out of the moment to kind of just self-reflect. It's this little moment of euphoria. I don't know. It's beautiful. And I also said it feels like she's putting a spell on him in the best way. I also love that we see blue used a lot as a positive in this record because blue is used a lot in Ultraviolence, not every time, but most of the time it was used as more of a negative blue sadness, that kind of thing. Blue is used in this album as a happy thing. I love that, and I love that she flips it on us like that. Obviously, the transition into Art Deco, top tier, absolutely amazing. Art Deco, I put in amazing because I love it, but it's not my top tier, my personal top tier. So I put it in amazing. And I said the intro is everything because it is. I love, we've got more onto the Born to saga. So we've got right in the beginning, Born to be Seen, Born to be Wild. Love that. It's like she's rewriting her story. More identity seeking, perhaps. I really feel like in this song, she's trying desperately to navigate her fame and what it means for her. So she's figuring out, she feels like she's talking to herself in this and the different parts of herself and trying to figure out and navigate, you know, how to be in this world that she's been thrust into, of course, that she wanted, but it's a strange place to be in, I can only imagine. I love the line, you want in, but you just can't win, so you stay in the lights. So cool. And then obviously, and I like the little part, the why is obviously a Born to Die reference, or that's how I interpret it. So again, we're looking back on that, and she's pointing us towards kind of comparing where she was then, where she is now. I said the sax is amazing. And I said, so dark again. I also said she's still finding herself. Exactly. But in a different way. It was like Born to Die was her finding herself as a young adult. And this is her finding herself in this world of fame that she didn't really maybe imagine it would be quite where it went, kind of thing. So interesting. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Religion. Religion is one that I put in great as well. And I hate that because, again, I don't want anybody to think that I don't like the song Religion or Music to Watch Boys To, because I think they're both fantastic songs. It's just when I have to compare them to the other songs, they're not my favorite. Religion might actually have the best melody, in my opinion, in the whole record, but the rest of the song is not as good melody wise, but we'll get to that. We'll get, not that it's not good, it's just not as interesting to me as some of the other ones. So I put We're Back in a Western, which I love. This is the line. The melody line and also the lyric is amazing. It never was about the money or the drugs. I think that's my favorite melody of the entire record. It's just so beautiful, and the way she sings it is so beautiful. So if the whole song was like that, I don't know, it wouldn't be interesting. It wouldn't stick out. So I don't know. I wouldn't change it, but I just love that specific part. It's such a brain worm for me. It just comes into my head all the time too. I love the line, when I'm down on my knees, you're how I pray. To me, again, I think this song could also be interpreted as her talking about her fame and just in music being her religion as well. But this one in particular tells me that she might have also been inspired by a man. Just that whole line, I'm down on my knees, you're how I pray, seems, the innuendo did not slip past me of that whole thing. We'll just say that. But also, I do think you can relate it to the way she feels about poetry and music as well. And I think that is also quite valid to have that interpretation. I love the line, even when the storms come, in the eye will stay. So just that, again, that idea, that Bonnie and Clyde kind of idea that like we can get through anything together as long as we're together. I love that idea. Yeah, and I also said having someone or something that just calms her and allows her to stay grounded, and being okay with accepting that help, either from someone else or from something like music or writing. She's totally accepting of the fact that she needs these things to kind of help her. And I love that about her. All right, we're almost there. Salvatore, I put in Masterpiece. See, we're already at 5. We're already at 5. Yeah. Anyways, Salvatore, I said the intro again is so interesting and intoxicating also. It sounds like a freaking movie. It's just a different movie than some of the other cinematic stuff that we have gotten from her. I love the line, everything looks better from above, my king. I feel like that could have a few different meanings or connotations, and I love that about it. I love it, and I think she does mean for you to get different ways of thinking of that line, and specifically that one. I love it. I said she sounds stunningly beautiful in this chorus. I said it makes me spin around like a child, like she often talks about. And it does kind of give, I do feel like it gives that like cat and mouse kind of vibe to it, obviously, with it being like the hunter kind of thing that we already know about. I do think just even sonically, it does give a cat and a mouse kind of vibe. I love it. And obviously the soft ice screams. I love it. I don't know. I hear in the second time she says it, I actually do hear her say, give an S at the end, soft ice screams. I swear I hear an S at the end. So I don't know. I do think there's something to that. And I do think she's been soft ice screaming for a while. Yeah. There's something about it. I love it. The line, one of the best lines in the song too, dying by the hand of a foreign man happily. It just sounds so Lana to me, and I love it. Okay, the Blackest Day. This is where we started just stacking Masterpiece. Sorry. How can I put it in anything else other than Masterpiece? That song, again, perfect. I said such a strong opening lyric delivery, just the way she says it is perfect. I said her voice is so beautifully grungy. I love it. And obviously the line, oh my God, it gets me every time. Looking for love in the wrong places. Oh my God, like it hits so hard for me. I can't. I do feel like she's kind of escaping again in a person this time. She doesn't want to really face her pain. So we've also got the line getting darker and darker. I feel this with every kind of betrayal, every heartbreak. You kind of just feel yourself losing yourself a little bit every time. And I do feel like she's kind of processing that in this song. Oh my God. And then the lyric, I'm on my own again, on my own, on my own again. I said she is going through deep processing here in the whole song. I really think it's a processing song. It's her mentally processing this kind of loss that she had and also processing how she's dealing with the loss or not dealing with it, right? Maybe escaping it into another person and kind of, I think she's just clocking herself on that. And I said she's just trying to accept her situation totally. And sometimes it takes a bit to do that. Okay, 24. 24 I put as amazing. I said, how can so much rage be so beautiful? That is 24 to me. It's just such a beautiful song with so much rage in there. I said her words are her bullets here. She talks a lot about and uses guns as symbolism a lot. And this is her. This is her using her gun. And it's the most effective gun, I think. I said the production is so layered and lush, as she says. I love the line, if you lie down with dogs, then you'll get fleas. Perfect. I love it. I said the build at the end is just so satisfying. Oh my God, yeah, that line, you're cold to touch, like how she sings that, I'm even thinking about it, and it's giving me chills just thinking about it. So listening to it is such a treat. And what I really noticed, not on my first listen, not on my second listen, like really at the end of this era for me, this little few week period that I give myself, right at the end is where I really saw that la-di-das that she does at the end. It feels like she's thinking of all the ways to destroy this person and enjoying it. So she's like, you know, la da, you know, like that's what I picture, almost like Mr. Burns, like, but obviously gorgeous and glamorous. Mr. Burns is not those things, so that's what I picture with that part, and I love that. I love that idea. All right, Swan Song. Swan Song has been quite an interesting journey for me. It was not top tier for me at first. This one has gone from like this to this to this to now today. It's in masterpiece for me. But that one, for whatever reason, didn't resonate at the beginning for me. That one needed a bunch of listens and a little more analysis, I think, on my end. And it's there. It's a masterpiece for me. I said the intro is just so cinematic again. The line of the freaking record, in my opinion, is why work so hard when you could be free? I just love that, and I think we all can take that advice, to be honest. I think the one thing that's really interesting about this song is that I think it probably is very dark. You could interpret it as being very dark. You can interpret it as one thing being her, quitting and not singing again, or you could take it further and it being more like you could take it a little more literal to what a swan song is. The reason why there is that expression of swan song is, that idea of them having their final song before they pass, right? So it could get very dark. You could interpret it very dark, but there's still so much hope even in that darkness, which is kind of uncomfortable, but I love it. Yes. So this is what I wrote. I said, we seem to be talking about leaving something she loves dearly. So, either just music or perhaps even losing her beautiful life. But There is so much relief in this, which is so uncomfortable to listen to, but so interesting. The line, dive in, dive deep, and dark blue, my sweet. I love that. Remember, dark blue is happiness often in this record. So it's like this rich, colorful surrender. Surrendering is another form of freedom. Remember that. Even though surrendering, you could see that as being a really scary and dark thing, as maybe surrendering your life, but there is a sense of freedom, or from one perspective, it could feel like a form of freedom in a way, right? I said maybe she can't control her freedom, she'll just let go and she'll have the ultimate freedom. And that is a heartbreaking sentiment. So yeah, super dark song in my opinion, but very interesting and beautifully poetic, however you interpret it. And then finally we have, in my opinion, so far the best cover that I've listened to anyway for those first 3 records. Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. I actually almost want to put it in Masterpiece, but just because it's a cover, we'll put it as amazing. I absolutely love it. I said, yeah, it's my favorite cover. I love the line, don't you know, no one alive can always be an angel. I think there's a lot of that. I talk a lot about that, you know, porcelain doll idea where she just wants to be seen as more. She wants people to understand how multifaceted she is, or maybe not even people, but like, well, yeah, I think even in her fame, I think she gets misunderstood a lot. But I think it's probably more important that the people who she is intimate with, people, you know, in her life personally, she would just want to feel like she's really being seen. We all want to be seen and heard, right, for who we actually are as much as possible, right? And I think people perceive her as we do as humans. I think we perceive each other wrong often, but yeah, I think she's wanting to be accepted for all the different facets of herself. And just to end off the line, but I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. I relate to that so much because I personally feel like I'm also misunderstood a lot, as we all are, of course. So that's it. That is how we ended the tier list. I am glad to have done this little recap with you guys, and sorry that the live stream didn't work out the way I wanted to, or any of us wanted to, but here we go. At least it is immortalized on the internet now, and you're not left wondering. That is how I tier ranked Honeymoon. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you for the next video. Bye.